All right, and we are live. This is episode 14 of the Zenspath podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Powers, and joining me today is
Hello, Caleb.
Evil Caleb, Mirror Universe. He has a good tea. It's freaking me out. I have the goatee.
I just liked your look so much. I really wanted to copy it, you know?
I'm sorry. Welcome to White Men with Small Beards.
Yay!
All right, so this one is titled Sony Does What Nintendo Did Already. I'm sure a lot of people see that one coming, and I'll probably get hate for it, but it's kind of funny, and they have kind of done that a few times, like with the original PlayStation controller, the Sony PlayStation Classic, the Move controllers. Battle Royale All-Stars.
I saw something on Twitter about like all the things that Nintendo did versus like what Sony did already.
And honestly, it goes both ways. I mean, it's just kind of funny to point out. You're like, yeah, we probably should have seen this coming. But we'll go and jump into that. Sony has announced the PlayStation Classic coming out December 3rd for $99.99.
It's a pretty penny.
And what really gets people where they're saying like Sony kind of copied is the fact that it's called the PlayStation Classic, just like the NES Classic and SNES Classic. And even the original advertisement that they showed for it has got the person's hand holding the PlayStation just like the other two. It's like somebody combined them together and made it look like it was just one fluid advertising, like some companies making classics of all these other ones. I'm like, oh, Sony. But go ahead.
I would say the funny thing is though, the games they've announced for they haven't really announced a whole lot. And it's just like just give us the list. I want to know. I don't want to buy it and have like 5 games on it.
Yeah. They're expecting people to go ahead and put down $100, and they only announced 5 out of 20 games.
Only 20?
Only 20. I don't know what they are. 20 games could be absolutely fantastic, or it could be absolutely horrible. If you look about the Super Nintendo Classic, that had 20 games on it, but it had really good collection. No. Well, they went, the NES Classic had more games, but they were smaller games or simpler games, easier to make. And then the Super Nintendo had less games, but they were bigger games, multiple massive RPGs and things like that would last a while. PlayStation Classic has got potential of having massive games, two of which they announced, but what are the other ones going to be? That's 15 more titles.
I'd say, what if you could custom order, like, I don't know, just like you have some like, okay, I want these 20 games, or I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, it really does depend on what all games they got, because right now I've never heard of Jumping Flash. And I have no idea what that involves.
Jumping Flash is really good. It's actually from Cliff Bleszinski, back when he was first making games before, Gears of War and stuff like that used a digital analog, and you could jump in a 3-dimensional space as this little rabbit. It was actually a lot of fun. So it's kind of a nice throwback to have that. Wild Arms is a massively popular RPG.
I heard of that one.
Massive RPG in its own right. Ridge Racer 4, it's Ridge Racer. It's, gliding around corners as you usually do. I'm curious if it's going to include Ridge Racer 1 60-frame edition in that package like it originally did, or if it's just the game disc for 4. Tekken 3 is included, which was one of the better fighting games. Some people wanted Tekken 2, but I don't know. 3 was the one that really went beyond the arcade version on the PlayStation. There's also Final Fantasy 7. So,
well, of course, in an effort to have beat Final Fantasy VII into our brains, even if we didn't grow up with it.
That's on everything now. It's been on mobile, PC, PlayStation. They're one day going to be released on the PlayStation 8 when they finish the remake. That'll be Chapter 1. Chapter 2 will come by PlayStation 12. By the time they finish the game, man will have evolved into Final Fantasy. We will be the game.
It's true.
I mean, they just announced, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It's coming to the Switch, and it's jumping way ahead on the news. But I mean,
which again is they're just trying to port it to every imaginable. I mean, soon Final Fantasy VII will be available for your refrigerators and microwaves at some point.
If your fridge runs Android, you might already have it. So, but the system itself, it's the console, 2 original, and this is what I find really weird, non-analog controllers. It's the launch day D-pad only PlayStation controllers.
That's so stupid. Why? That's so dumb.
People are just like, oh, well, it'll save money. I'm like, yeah, but it also wouldn't. It stops some games from working either in their better way or completely. Like, we can already tell right now, out of the 15 new games coming, Ape Escape cannot and will not be one of them because you have to have analog sticks. And Ape Escape was such a fun game. I don't know. I'm really concerned about it, but it also comes with the HDMI cable, USB cable, no AC charger. It's a 5-volt 1-amp charger. If you have a cell phone one, most of those are going to work with it. Plug it in, you're good to go. A lot of TVs even have ports available in them that you just plug right into. So that's kind of an odd one as well. But we've got 15 more titles. Some of the ones that people are wondering if they're going to get, like I wanted Gran Turismo 2 on there, but the licensing will probably never happen. You got to go back and relicense all those cars, the music. And that's the other big thing. These are all CD games that started having real licensed music for once. All of that has to be renegotiated, for release on different devices. Are we going to see Metal Gear Solid? Are we going to see Mega Man Legends or Legends 2? Or Adventures of Tronbon even? Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I'll probably honestly get it just for the Mega Man Legends stuff because I've never played it and it looks really fun.
I have Legends, but I also have Legends 64, which just looked so much better, but had compressed audio, but it still just was so much prettier. I don't know.
No, they're probably going to put Croc on there, everybody's favorite 3D platformer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're wondering, like, are they going to put Spyro or Crash Bandicoot because they both had collections just come out? They might. The publishers might say no. They want them to buy the new game, not these old ones.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that just because of exactly what you said. And the fact is, like, hey, we already made these new games. People are going to buy them. Why put them in that old thing, the old new thing?
Now, the other thing is, are they going to have a restriction of mature rated titles? What games are mature rated that were on the original PlayStation would not possibly be allowed? Would they want to have that? Because if they do it, then the whole system has to be rated M, which limits, I mean, not realistically, but I mean, it's supposed to limit the sales of it. Let's see if I can find some PlayStation 1 M-rated games and see which ones we had.
The Tengu Assassin, whatever it's called. The assassination one.
Tenchu Assassins.
That one. I can never remember the name of it. All I know is your assassin. Resident Evil, probably.
Yeah, that's another good one. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. And those had DualShock editions, which use the stick. So if we get them, it'll have to be the earlier versions. We won't actually be able to get any later ones.
Ooh, the Silent Hills.
Yeah, Silent Hill was mature rated. Metal Gear Solid was mature rated. The original Grand Theft Auto, Clock Tower. I'm seeing a bunch of these. Fear Effect was a great one. Parasite Eve was another really good one. This one's not mature, but seriously, I want Jet Moto on there. I love Jet Moto. I got 1, 2, and 3. I still play them. I mean, I don't know. They push the boundary with some of these mature rated titles. It might come back to bite them in the butt because they can't put them on this, possibly. I could be wrong. They could do it. So that could be fine. But I don't know. Are you going to get one?
Depends on what other games are on there.
We don't need to know that. Sony doesn't care.
I need to know what I'm paying for.
Nah, just give them the money. They'll love it.
Turns out all the other games were just other ports of Final Fantasy VII, just on the PlayStation still. Here's the PC port of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, God. That would be Terrifying. All right. So let's move on to some other sad news until, we'll come back one day and tell you what the PlayStation has on it, which with our luck will end up being when it comes out. Like,
True.
You buy it. Surprise! It's 15 more PlayStation demo discs. Have fun. One of which has that bug that erases your memory card.
Have you ever played Gubble?
No.
It is terrible.
Have we talked about Gubble before?
My stepmother got it for the PlayStation 1 or PS2, but it was a PlayStation 1 game, so we could never save it. It was just, I don't know, man. It was something interesting. You just played as a dude who sat in like a flying egg. I don't know. It looked like an egg.
Wow, we did talk about this before because it's so weird.
You picked up tools and you did tool things and you had to avoid bad guys and you hammered or you did screws or something.
He looks like he's flying in an egg on top of a spark plug.
Yeah.
Google Gubble for the original PlayStation. It's rated E. This could be on the PlayStation Classic.
No, please.
Got to have that child-friendly stuff. Wow, this is such a weird. Looks like it's an isometric third-person game.
Yeah. No, it's weird. And yeah, you take tools and you drag them around and you do stuff with them. You try not to die. It's weird and it's dumb.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so terrible.
You heard it here first, everybody. Gubble Gubble is going to be on the PS1 Classic.
It's a classic.
It's classic.
All right, so let's move on from questionable news to a couple of bad news stories. I'm actually sad to hear about these. Capcom shuts down Vancouver studios. This is via GameIndustry.biz. The studio that created Dead Rising series and Puzzle Fighter. I love Dead Rising. I've got all of them from the 360, Xbox One. I even got the one on the Wii. I bought Chop Till You Drop. I'm that guy. And then Puzzle Fighter, I've gotten a couple different compilations and played that, which has been a lot of fun against Remy and so forth here for some of our game nights. But they just shut them down. Just, by the way, people, bye. Capcom representative stated to GameIndustry.biz, Capcom is currently reviewing the allocation of its development resources that support the production of world-class content. Capcom has been focused on increasing the efficiency and growth of its game development operations. To support this objective, new R&D facilities and annual hiring have been underway at the Osaka headquarters. In consideration of this process as a result of reviewing titles in development at Capcom Vancouver, Capcom has decided to cancel the development projects at this studio and will concentrate development of major titles in Japan. Went on to say, as part of this overall direction, the CV studio will suspend operations effective today, so the current staff will be laid off and the office will be closed. What the crap, Capcom?
I honestly, I think Capcom is like hurting in some kind of financial way because they keep leaning on microtransactions and everything. I went and looked recently at Street Fighter V.
Oh.
With like just how much DLC there is to buy. I'm just like,
there's no to buy for it. It's just that
all
game
the
is
DLC
so messed
combined is 3 times as expensive as the game, the base game.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
It's kind of like, Capcom's like, we'll give you your Mega Man. You'll finally get your Mega Man, but someone has to suffer. And like, oh, now I feel bad.
We have to sacrifice something.
Vancouver died for your game. I mean, I feel really bad for them. I hope these people find jobs. But I mean, imagine they've worked so hard on all these games just to be like, oh, okay, well, you guys did a great job. You're all fired. Let's go. And I've been laid off before. I've had that happen. And it is a horrible feeling because these people don't always have something easy to fall back on. They're going to have to look, possibly move to find work. And Capcom, they were saying the part of this doesn't even make sense. They lost $40 million just by closing this, just because of the canceled games. That's a ridiculous amount of money to just go, whew, we're done.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Our president's people, CEO, whoever says we got to do it. So
yeah, because they're concentrating more stuff into the Japan offices. But I mean, man, Vancouver did good work.
Yes, but they are also filthy gaijins. So
it's Canada; they're friendly.
Still filthy gaijins.
Jeez. All right, so our next incredibly sad story is this.
Next incredibly sad story. As we sit here and laugh,
our listeners will remember this. Telltale Games begins majority studio closure. This is via Kotaku, where I pulled some of this from. These are the guys that made, the Walking Dead series, Minecraft Story Mode. There was the Batman games. There was Guardians of the Galaxy, Back to the Future, Game of Thrones. Pretty much, if it had a story, they could make a game out of it. Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands was another good one. They confirmed with Kotaku that all but 25 employees were let go from the studio as part of a majority studio closure following a year marked by insurmountable challenges. The small group that remains will fulfill the company's obligations to its boards and partners.
So they got like one more game coming out, I guess?
Well, they've got one thing still coming, and then
they got
been canceled.
More Walking Dead game, don't they?
No, Walking Dead will not be finished.
Well,
yep. Telltale CEO Pete Hawley issued a statement saying, "It's been an incredibly difficult year for Telltale as we work to set the company on a new course. Unfortunately, we ran out of time trying to get there. We released some of our best content this year and received tremendous amount of positive feedback, but ultimately that did not translate to sales. With a heavy heart, we watch our friends leave today to spread our brand of storytelling across the games industry." You're not a flower. You're not pollinating everything. You just fired a bunch of people. Quit trying to make it sound all nice. Just you haven't spread brand of storytelling. You have spread a bunch of just messed up people who have lost their jobs and are freaking out and trying to work. But on the plus side for this, as well as the Vancouver closing, there's been a lot of different other game companies going, "Hey, we're looking for people. Come apply." One of them, I think Ubisoft, was like, "Look, you come here and talk to us. We're going to buy you guys lunch. It's all on us. We'll see if we can find you a position. Just come and relax today." And I'm like, okay, some of these companies are, not sitting there with their head up their ass.
Yeah, I mean, there's now just a slew of, and I kind of feel bad for people who are about to graduate and go into the game industry, because now there's like a oversaturation of veterans, technically in the whole workforce. So now it's going to be even harder.
What have you done? A lot.
I did books. I read the books, and I'm here now. No, we're looking for someone with more experience, as all the companies in the world will love to. It's so annoying. But I'm
lucky with my job. I'm just
all right. So is Netflix actually doing a whole animated thing for Minecraft Story Mode?
Okay, well, here's the thing. It said this closure sadly means that all the games were canceled, except for Minecraft Story Mode that's going to Netflix this fall. It's an interactive video. So you watch it.
That's actually insane. That actually sounds really cool.
Well, basically, it's kind of like, I've seen YouTube videos that have done it as well, or those Choose Your Own Adventure books. All the different content's there, and as you go through, you choose each chapter. It takes your decision and continues on, which means as that branches out, it's going to get insane. You have one story, two decisions, these branch out, those branch out, and it keeps going. What really sucks though is that The Walking Dead, the final season, which this was going to close out the entire series, we're talking years and years of gameplay. They got 2 of the episodes out. I think there was supposed to be 5. There usually is about 5 episodes, a little bit more, and they're just going to drop it. That's it. You're done. So it's a complete cliffhanger for this. I mean, we're talking like this is, if we got Infinity War last year or whatever, or this year, and then they just stopped making Marvel movies.
That would honestly really suck.
Yeah. The whole thing just goes out on Thanos smiling. I've killed them all.
I've I've saved the universe.
Yep.
To me though, it really does seem like this was just like a mismanagement of time and resources, because like what Telltale does is within the past couple of years they've really bought expensive IPs out of the wazoo, like the
Yeah.
Marvel properties and Batman and Borderlands stuff. You have to pay for the rights to use all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're working on 6 different games at the same time. And they're all like episodic and everything, so I can't.
I could kind of see the way they were working on it because it was episodic, and the way that these games are made once they have the engine in place. They go in, design their characters, and go from there. Not saying it's easy by any means. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just saying that they have kind of a set structure. So I could see it being a little bit easier on some of them taking on some of these extra projects. But I agree that I think they went beyond even that and spread themselves out so thin and expected such great return, while limiting releases. Like, oh, we're only going to do it on this one, or
Well, even then, there really wasn't much in the way of them kind of shaking things up. Like the gameplay kind of stayed the same. You either you press a key or you drag the mouse to a certain place, or you choose your stuff. And I could see some people like, I've kind of played one Telltale game. What's the point of playing another one?
Well, for part of that, Telltale is one of the ones that was very much story based. You're not playing it to press that button. You're playing it to go through the story and experience it and make your choices. So, like with The Walking Dead, I was in that story because I played through from the beginning all the way through. And now it's just like, there's not going to be an ending. Have fun. And I'm like, come on. Like, why? What was it? There was the Fables one, The Wolf Among Us, that will never have an ending now.
Yeah.
That was one of the really popular ones. I don't think Minecraft story mode, I think it did get its second season, then the Netflix stuff is coming. But there was a lot of these that were working on. We never got the second part of Guardians of the Galaxy. We're never going to get another Game of Thrones. They had just announced a bunch of this stuff was coming to the Switch. All of that is gone. And I think that could have made them a lot of money because people would have rebought their whole back catalog. But they waited to make anything for the Switch. They were just like, oh, this might not work. And it could have honestly helped them a little bit. But there seems to be a lot of money issues internally as well. Their old CEO, when he left and got replaced, is actually suing the company because they mishandled his finances.
Nice.
So there's a history of this going on. The darkest part of it, sadly, the employees were laid off without any severance. It was literally, they walked in, all right, you're gone, and that's it. Brandon Kabenka, I apologize if I mispronounced that last name. It's Cebenka, Sabenka. Brandon Sabenka, a former character artist at Telltale, tweeted, "Don't work overtime unless you're paid for it, y'all. Protect your health. Companies don't care about you." And apparently that was a theme from a couple different ex-employees saying that they worked all this crunch time, all these hours to find out you're not getting paid for any of it and you're gone. Bye. Have a good day. It sucks because it was I thought it was a good company. I liked the games they made. I liked the way they did stuff because they came from a quick firing as well back when LucasArts Games was closed down. These are the people that used to make the adventure games and stuff like that with LucasArts. So they went to start their own company, and just seems like they kind of lost their way while they did it. And now, we have to remember it, and we have to play them, and those stories will not be completed. Which sucks.
So are they like on Steam or whatever? Are they gonna who gets the profits from those, or like are they gonna be like come off the store, or like
the company is still there? They still exist with 25 employees. There is a slim chance Telltale may be able to pull it around and do something, but everything is pointing at they're shutting down after this project. Like they're just going to do their work and then close the doors. So we could have an incident of like THQ Nordic. which is a company that bought the THQ name after they went down, and they've been just picking up the rights to everything to try and get it going again. That's why we're getting Darksiders 3.
Yay!
You know, yeah, that's all having because of THQ Nordic. We could possibly see something like that happen with Telltale. I would really hope so, where they could get those grouped together under better management, keep a tighter budget, pick a couple of these stories, finish them or continue them, or make new ones. Either way, I mean, if you don't finish the stories but you make good new ones, people will understand. And see if they can go from there. But beyond that, we're looking at pretty much they're going away, and that's probably what's going to happen. So this has been depression. Let's talk about something a little bit happier. The Nintendo Direct that was on the 13th of September, 2018. It was supposed to be about a week prior, but it got delayed because of earthquakes in Japan. These were much northern of where they were, north of where they were, but they, Nintendo didn't want to be putting this stuff out while people are in a crisis and dealing with these things. So in solidarity with their people, everyone decided we're going to wait. And the vitriol from some people was just terrible. I mean, people died. People got hurt. There was infrastructure damage. There was a lot going on. People without power, without water, without food. But no, you had to have your Direct right now.
I have to have my precious Nintendo Direct. I need to find out who the next Smash Brothers character is.
Yeah,
come on, people, don't be like that.
I mean, they were horrible about it. I mean, mind you, this was the very vocal minority. This was not the majority of the fans.
I hate the vocal minority. They're so annoying.
I know. A lot of the fans were very supportive, like, take all the time you need. We understand, this is gaming. We love gaming. Our lives are revolving around gaming, but it is not the most important thing in the world. We can enjoy it, but we have to have perspective on that. We do this for fun, but if it comes down to either me doing the podcast or something with my family that I have to do, I'm sorry, but I'm going to do the stuff that my family needs. The podcast can wait. So there was a lot of announcements in this Direct.
I was actually really impressed with how much there was. Granted, most of what they announced, I was kind of like, Some of the other stuff, though, I was actually like, okay, bro.
Well, there was almost no leaks. Nintendo messed up on one thing and put out Yoshi's story name, which was an accident. But beyond that, that was just some of the stuff that happened because of the delay. Couple 3DS highlights. I'm not going to name every game, but Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn coming in 2019, coming for the 3DS. My daughter is stupidly excited for that. She saw it and screamed. She loves Kirby. As you should remember, Caleb. The girl's obsessed with it. So she wants to play that. It's basically Kirby's Epic Yarn from the Wii, but with added content. An actual difficulty mode, like you can die in it now.
It seems like they're either anything from the Wii U. No, Kirby's Epic Yarn was on the Wii. You're right. Anything from the Wii and Wii U is probably going to be on 3DS.
For some of it, a lot of Wii U is coming to the Switch. Some GameCube is coming to the 3DS, and then some of the Wii stuff is coming to the 3DS, but. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey coming January 11th, 2019.
Did they skip one?
No.
They skipped one. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Was Bowser's Inside Story before the evil mushroom aliens, or was that?
It was the last one on the original DS. So this is the third one being re-released on the 3DS with extra content. They did those in order. This is the third one coming out because there was Mario and Luigi, and then there's Mario and Luigi Partners in Time.
Did they do Partners in Time already? Did they report that one?
Pretty sure they did.
Completely missed it. Then hold on, I gotta look this up.
Looking up as well. No, they did skip it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, wait, did they skip one? Because I I remember playing Partners in Time. I never played the original, though I got the original on the 3DS. So so that's been pretty fun. I need to get back into it. I've just been preoccupied with other things. And then they announced Bowser's Inside Story. I'm like, wait a minute. I think they skipped one. They skipped the one I played.
Yeah.
What's going on? But
Not
I'll
sure on
probably
that
get
one,
it because it looks interesting.
Yeah, the next one they have on here is Luigi's Mansion, which is coming October 12th. This was we already knew about it. It was the GameCube remake from 3DS, and everyone was like wondering, why is it coming to 3DS? I don't understand. Well, they added some cool features to it. There's multiplayer now, finally. If you have individual cards or carts, you can play together in the entire game. You show up as like this green spectral looking Luigi in the other person's game. But there is a mode that if you have only single cart called which is basically a boss mode. You can do boss fights together. I really wish that's one thing from the 3DS the Switch should have had, was the ability to, like, I've got the cartridge. You want to play with me? You download part of it and we'll play. And that just kind of went away, and I really miss that. It's so stupid. It would have made for more fun. Like, think about, like, if Splatoon had that, you could have a one-on-one mode, load up a map and a character and fight each other, or like Mario Kart had, where a bunch of people could all race each other off that one cart offline. Everybody else had to be Shy Guy, but you could do it. The only downside is you had a little bit of a load time. That really should have been part of it. But jumping into the Switch games, because like I said, they were very quick about 3DS. Luigi's Mansion 3.
Woohoo! I'm excited. Knew? I still haven't played the Dark Moon one. I still haven't played that one.
It was really good. I know. Really enjoyed
I need to go back and I need to find it.
It had a really fun multiplayer mode too, which you could play with one cartridge. Come on, Nintendo, bring it back.
But you can play with one cartridge. Nintendo.
Gotta be honest. We actually saw Luigi's Mansion 3 early back at the last Nintendo Direct when they announced Simon Belmont. Because remember, the beginning of it had Luigi facing up against a mummy, and he like shoots him in the face with a plunger, and the light doesn't work, and all of that was from Luigi's Mansion 3. That's the version of the poltergust is on his back. That's the plunger move. So we can assume
Luigi turns into a ghost in Luigi's Mansion 3.
People wonder if that may actually be a part of the component, like you leave your body to do stuff. That could be kind of cool. Or it could just be they wanted to kill him in a Smash Brothers trailer, which everyone's died except for the new one.
Yeah, literally every trailer said somebody either like have a traumatic experience or die.
Yeah, the Splatoon girl is still just suffering from that. Just, I see it. All right. Speaking of Splatoon, we had the Splatoon 2 4.0 update, which was kind of confusing. They wanted to have everything in squid language and not actually say anything, but show video and pictures. But hey, we saw costumes, levels, and weapons all hinted with nothing really solid yet. We did later on get a little bit of information that some of it is required or part of the Nintendo online service. You get a special code for having that. And you get unique equipment just for it.
So wouldn't everyone have it?
Only if they're online. If they have an account. Remember, there is a local multiplayer version of Splatoon 2, so some people aren't getting it.
Huh.
But we'll talk about the Nintendo Online ups and downs, mostly downs, in a little bit.
Wow.
They touched upon Megaman 11 again, which there was supposed to be a demo release the same day as the Direct, but the Direct got delayed, but the demo went ahead and came out, so we got to play it a little bit. Holy crap. I am so happy with it and disappointed with one part. But go ahead.
It looks really good. What are you disappointed about it? What's disappointing about it?
All the old Mega Man games. You get to the boss room.
No. Really?
You're supposed to go through and then come down. I'm not saying the game is bad. I'm just like,
Literally,
really?
that's
You
all
couldn't
anybody
keep
say is
it?
like, I love everything about this, except you can't jump in the bathroom door. That's literally all I've ever seen in every video.
That's actually a good sign, though. If that's all they can complain about.
It's like, no, as soon as you said it, or like as soon as I was like, wait, what's 1 3? Oh no, not you too, Jeremy.
I did it. As soon as that boss door opened, I was like, jump, land, walk. I'm like, what? No, no. This game was so good. I have to give it a 0 now.
What? This whole thing is ruined.
Yeah. My childhood's ruined. Why?
Even though it wasn't really part of my childhood. Why?
Actually, it was part of my childhood. I played that back when
Well,
I first
not
came
Mega
out.
Man 11. Mega Man, sure, but not
Hey,
11.
just the Mega Man jumping through that door has been there since like day one. It's like, and I know why they did it, but I'm like, you couldn't copy that. Seriously though, Capcom has done a beautiful job on this game. It looks and plays great. Now if they just wouldn't shut down Vancouver for it. They got dark again. All right. Next up is another update. Mario Tennis Aces updated to version 2, which apparently already came out. I need to get that. Characters joining. We're adding in Birdo, Shy Guy, Koopa Paratroopa, and Petey Piranha. So you can get all these guys just by going online to the tournament mode, play around, lose it, and then you got them.
I've never really been like a Mario Tennis fan, except for on the I don't know, there was one, but like, actually played a demo because apparently our Best Buy still does that, unlike any other place in the universe. So I was like, hey, look, it's a demo. I want to play.
GameStop has it.
I was like, wow, this is actually really fun.
It is a really good game. We have had some hilarious game nights here with it because you can do 4-player local.
Oh,
and it gets heated and ridiculous. So the more we add to it, the better it gets. So some of the people that come here will be happy because their main complaint was, why can't I play Shy Guy? Here's your Shy Guy. Shut up.
Oh, it's my Shy Guy.
They're also adding in a new mode, which is Co-op Challenge. They didn't say if this was online only or if it had a local multiplayer part, which I would kind of assume it would. But they are limited time that they're available. And if you complete the challenges, you get costumes or costume parts and alternate colors not available during other settings. So hurry up and play it or forever be shunned. You don't have the new hotness, you're out. That's tennis for you. All right, what do we got next?
Capcom beat 'em up bundle.
Yeah. This one's been kind of funny as well. I bought it. As soon as I saw it, I was so happy because I am, of my generation, a Capcom beat 'em up fan. They were beat 'em ups for everything, be it Turtles in Time. You know, that was the Konami one. But the ones this one comes with 7 different games, 2 of which were never released on a console. They were arcade only. But we got Final Fight, The King of Dragons, Captain Commando, Knights of the Round, which was my favorite, and Warriors of Fate. Were all the ones that were originally ported to consoles. Well, these are all the arcade versions, so they look better, play better. And then you've got the 2 that were never released in outside of arcades called Armored Warriors and Battle Circuit. One of which lets you play as a plant guy. It's really funny. But these support anywhere from 2 to 4 players. Different games support different ones. Like Knights of the Round stopped at 3 players. I think Final Fight, I believe that one was 3 as well. But there's a couple of them that do up to 4 players. So you can just pop off a Joy-Con, give it to somebody, and play. Offline modes, these are fantastic. They work exactly as they should. They run beautifully. Online is a different subject. And a lot of people have been using this as an example, saying like, oh, this is why the Nintendo Online is so bad. And I'm like, yeah, it is pretty bad about glitching. But then I have other friends who bought it on like PS4 and Xbox One, and they're going like, yeah, the online's broken on this too. It's like you join in with someone's game and it's maybe a couple frames every few seconds. Like it's horribly laggy. So I'm like, okay, it's the game, not the code, not the service. Because all my other games have played online just fine, but I'm afraid to try this one online. After hearing this, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so bad. Is it one you're interested in playing at all?
Not particularly. I don't see. That's what I mean. It's like everything. Probably like, oh, that's cool. I have no attachment to this whatsoever, so I never grew up with these.
I squealed like a little girl when they were like Knights of the Round. I'm like, Eee! I was so happy. I love that game. It's so hard to find anymore. Well, it was. Now it's not. Now I've got it. All right. What do we got next, Caleb?
The new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, which again was one of those. I was like, oh, that's cool.
You were hateful, man. What the heck? It's
it
deluxe. I love the logo. It's even got the Joy-Cons on it.
It includes all the new Super Smash Brothers U and Super
Smash
Luigi
Brothers?
U. The it's early, okay? The new Super Mario Brothers U and new Super Luigi U content. So that's like 164 levels.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Playable characters include Mario, Luigi, Toad, Nabbit, and Toadette, which are playable. Nabbit and Toadette, or Nabbit was in Luigi U, but now he's in both. He's a character you can run around as where you don't get damage from enemies, but you can still fall in holes. And shameless plug, this was also the character and part of the game that I'd originally written the article about a couple years back about my daughter, which allowed her with Nabbit on the gamepad of the Wii U to play games with us. So that's part of why we're kind of really excited about this game, man.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I believe your daughter has a close connection with this certain title.
Yeah, Jennifer was really happy to see Nabbit. She's also, though, really happy to see Toadette. She loves Pink, and she always loves seeing Toadette and likes playing as her when we're playing around with Captain Toad.
Now there is a Super Toadette, which turns into Peach.
Peachette becomes, if Toadette can become Peachette by grabbing the new Super Crown item, which...
So, yeah, from this one thing, okay. The internet has erupted.
Oh, the Bowser thing?
Okay, besides the Bowser thing, I was gonna mention that, but that is also really weird. I'm just like,
internet
cringe, cringe, and like everybody's like, so does that mean Peach is also like a Toad, but because she wears the crown, she's, I don't know. So this is a whole lore thing going on now, and
nobody knows with that one. It's just so weird.
Also, rest in peace, Blue Toad. There was somebody that died in the direct, and it was not during the Smash Brothers trailer. It was the Blue Toad.
Nobody cares. It was just Blue Toad.
Wow.
He's just blue flavored cannon fodder.
Blue.
He was replaced by the better Nabbit and Toadette and Peachette. But the game will allow for 4-player local multiplayer, just like the original title. And because originally you would play it using Wii remotes, just turn them sideways, you can now just take the Joy-Cons, turn it sideways, and pass it over and play it. So I'm kind of seeing a lot of games doing that now, which is great that they can be played with just these one Joy-Con each for good multiplayer, which actually leads into our next one, or we'll just roll right over to it.
Haha!
Katamari Damacy Reroll, coming winter 2018. I did not see this coming.
Yeah, no, this one I'm like, I never really got to play Katamari Damacy, and I hear really good things about it. I'll finally be able to get to play that.
My wife was shaking her head in disappointment because she knew she's going to have to hear that music again. La 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 la. She got so tired of hearing it, I would just let it play. I love those games. This is, like I said, this is a remake of the original one. Some people actually prefer the first one. I liked the second one, but I'm willing to go back and play this one. I mean, it's portable for crying out loud. And you can use the Joy-Cons by actually... I will get Joy-Cons as a demonstration. But you can hold them and control it by going forward or twisting to the side, very much like arms. and you can control the Katamari that way, which is really cool because you would do it originally with the sticks, which is still an option. You can still do that. So it's kind of cool that you can have that option to play around with. Now there's a co-op mode or multiplayer mode where each of you takes one Joy-Con sideways and can control the character as well. So I'm curious how that will change controls a little bit, but I'm sure if they're doing it, they thought of a pretty good way to handle it. I don't know if any new content's being added. I just know it's being upscaled, redone with new textures and stuff for HD. But port everything to Switch.
Do it. Port everything.
Everything. I'm looking over here like, what else could we port? I want Tank. The game was stupid but fun. So stupid. All right. What was that noise? All right.
I don't know.
Weird. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection coming November 2nd, 2018. That's right. I'm buying Diablo 3 for the third time. Got it on 360. Got it on Xbox One. Dropping all those hundreds of hours of gameplay to start it over again on the Switch. This one has one of my favorite uses of Amiibo. They don't help you. When you use them, they summon the most difficult enemies that come out and try and kill you. So you can use the Amiibos to try and force yourself to level up or just get completely demolished. And I have a wall of Amiibo ready to do that.
Use them all at once.
Oh, God. If I had my character from the Xbox One, I might be able to survive that for a few minutes. But that's about it. But the cool thing about this, if you've never played Diablo 3, or if you've only played the original part of it, this is all of Diablo 3 and all of the expansions included. So this actually has more content than my Xbox One version because I didn't buy the last DLC, which was the Witch Doctor, that expansion. So I guess I'll be a Witch Doctor first. Why not?
Here come the voodoo.
Yeah, it's the voodoo that you do. All right. 4-player co-op on the console itself, so I can just pass out 4 controllers and we can play. I can do 4-player on each system, so if people come over with their own consoles or you meet up with somebody somewhere, you can play together linked that way, or you can do all of it online, which could, work really well. Hopefully, could be fun. The other thing you get is the Ganondorf, which I completely misspelled on here. Ganondorf. That's funny. I was tired.
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf. Yes, it's Gondorf. We call for Gondorf for aid. Ganondorf Transmog Armor exclusive. You can make any of your armor sets look like you are Ganondorf. Just beating up people, kicking them. Gotta have that kick.
You play the Necromancer or whatever. Just
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to pick it up because I am a Diablo 3 sucker, which is funny because Diablo 3 was one of those games when it first came out, I swore I would not play because of their online auction house, the way it required the always online. And I was like, cool, I'm not going to play Diablo 3. And everyone's like, that's stupid. It's a great game. I was like, yeah, but I'm sticking to this. I'm not going to play it until they get rid of it. And I was to my word. They got rid of it right as they released it on 360. And I went, okay, I'm in. And I've loved it ever since. All right. Next, we have a very generic title. It's only a placeholder. A game called Town.
Town. The one town.
It is Town. What makes Town so special?
We don't know.
It's a freaking Game Freak RPG for the Switch. It's a full new game that's not Pokemon from Game Freak. It apparently takes place all in one town, all your fights, interactions, and everything. So I'm expecting it to be really detailed. People going about their business, doing things, and working together during this whole time. So I don't know. We're not going to see that until 2019. So, Caleb, what we got next, man?
Cities Skylines Nintendo Switch Edition, because port everything to Switch.
Yeah.
Digital only, though.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. And it's like $40. That's a little hard to take into account.
I think $40 is worth the whole city.
All right, fair enough. But this does include the main game along with After Dark and Snowfall DLC. So you get all of the content, and it's portable. I know people joke about that, but portability is really nice on the Switch. Next up, we have Daemon Ex Machina.
I'm excited for that. It looks cool.
Yeah,
that looks anime as all get out.
It's so much. It comes out in 2019. Basically, these Gundam-like creatures have become sentient and are killing man, and man has to fight back, where they have their own suits that they use that aren't sentient, but as you level up your character or modify that person, it affects your mech. It's got a trippy cel-shaded art style, and it's got co-op, so I'm okay with that. All right. Next up is the one and only leak that Nintendo had, and that is Yoshi's Crafted World, coming spring 2019.
Didn't we see something like this, or was I thinking of Yoshi's Woolly World that did something?
Yoshi's Woolly World was the old one that got ported to the 3DS.
Right.
This was just called Yoshi for Switch. They released the name on accident because it updated on Nintendo's website the night of the original night of the Direct was supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing this game though last year at E3, because I remember like they were talking about, oh look, you could flip the world and everything's all paper.
Time has been kind to it because it looks really good now. Like you can tell the updates.
I think I saw something on Twitter. It was where somebody had the Yoshi, the crafted Yoshi, and they kept like zooming in, and when they finally zoomed in, you could see all the little hairs and stuff. It was like, wow.
Yeah, and that's going to be a skin in Smash Brothers. That's going to be one of the actual. They're doing more costumes that kind of physically change how the characters look.
And that's really cool, though. That's like that'd be awesome.
So we've seen Meta Ridley, which looks great, or Mecha Ridley, whichever one.
Meta Ridley, just saying.
Yeah, there was a Mecha, but this is Meta. Yeah,
Mecha is completely different.
I know. Don't start. I knew you were going to. I should have. But the game itself does look really, really nice with the way it interacts with the different layers of the world, how everything looks like it was crafted by kids. Where you've got like giant fish that are made of plates with stuff cut out of them and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this is just great and stupidly adorable. And it's got co-op, and I'm going to play with my kids. I have to. All right, so that's not coming out until spring of next year, which, like I said, it looks like they're taking the time to really improve the game, get everything running. This is Nintendo's first game made by them that's running the Unreal Engine 4. So that's part of why this is taking a little bit longer, is they want to make sure it's up to snuff. And so far, it looks like they're doing a pretty good job. Now, this next one that they announced kind of caught me off guard. I was like kind of really happy about it.
Same. I was like, what?
But I want to see how it works, because a lot of these games require you to hide your cards, which makes me worry that either each person's going to have a Switch, which is going to get expensive fast, or it has to be played online, which kind of defeats the purpose of everyone getting together. But Asmodee Digital is making tabletop games for the Switch. The first one they announced is Carcassonne. I knew the name earlier and I just blanked on it. Carcassonne.
I couldn't
go with that. Whatever. It's coming out December 2018 with all the paid DLC expansions available. I always want to say Carcassonne, but that's a different one. Lord of the Rings Living Card Game coming April 2019. Pandemic, which is one of the ones I'm excited for, coming March 2019 with paid DLC expansions. Catan Universe. They didn't give much detail on that. And then the one I really want to play is Munchkin.
Munchkin, dude, I remember playing that with.
Which apparently will have a majority, if not all, of the DLC expansion packs. So you might be able to go in there and buy the weird Munchkin expansions.
Right, we're gonna play Munchkin with all the packs or all the expansions. I heard that's broken though.
Well, on the plus side, if this is online only, we will have to get together, get the camera set up, and stream it. We can have remote game nights. But it's a cool idea. I mean, I like the fact that the Switch would work like that. If the screen wasn't so small, it would be kind of fun to have as like a little board game table, like where you can control stuff like that. Maybe if they ever came out with like a Switch bigger tablet version or something, or a screen extension. I don't know. Who knows? All right. Sid Meier's Civilization 6. This one was
this one was also like a roof.
Coming November 16th, 2018. It's like right around the corner. With an exclusive 4-player local multiplayer mode. So you can just be all civilized as you kill each other. Locally. I'm still tired. That's Civ. I don't know. Civ 6 could be interesting. So yeah.
No, I was like, I mean, makes sense in the overall scheme of things. It does make sense.
It does. I'm still a huge fan of the old Civilization Revolution on 360 and actually I had it on 360 and DS. Both versions played great. But it was a simplified version of Civilization. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to play the full complicated one. Crap. All right, what's next?
Starlink, the Battle of Atlas. More Star Fox stuff.
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch version. What was that?
Including Wolf as an enemy.
Yes, you hear him complain about food.
This is disgusting.
I'm curious. I just want to know how the sales for this are going to go because
I don't see them going all too well, other than Star Fox fans solely getting it for the.
Well, that's
Star
what I'm
Fox
talking about. Starlink is coming out on Xbox One, PS4. I think it's on PC and it's on the Switch. The thing is, the Switch version is the only one that has the Star Fox content. Not only the content, but actually comes with an R-Wing and some of those ships. So the idea is you're supposed to be able to have like a Joy-Con grip that has the ship sitting in it. And then you attach parts to the ship and the game recognizes it and that changes what's going on. Now, there's ways to scan these in and keep them digitally so you can change them out on the go so you can play it portably. You don't have to have all this stuff, which I think would be kind of nice. It would have been cool if like Skylanders had something like that. Well, they did for some of the 3DS ones. You could register certain figures and then have a certain amount of them ready to go on the go. You could just click on them and swap them out without having to actually have the thing there. And then when you got home, you would just update those figures so they would have their memory. But I want to see, Starlink is going to be kind of tricky to sell by itself, but I want to see compared to the other systems if Star Fox is a huge jump for what it needs. Because it seems like Nintendo's given them carte blanche to do with what they want with it. They've got the ships, the characters, the voice actors, the planets, all of it is there. Dang. I mean, that'd be like if our version of Doom had everything from Samus and all of her creature, stuff included in it if you wanted to.
I would absolutely love it. And I would probably buy it in a heartbeat if Samus was like a playable character in like Doom or something like that.
Doom was already good, but could you? Yeah, it's already sold really well. But you put Samus
just
in
like
there.
take that arm cannon, shove it in some demons' faces, blow their heads off. Just like you do with Ridley, you swing them around, slam them on the ground, shoot a couple missiles in their face, and
sounds like we're getting into Other M territory there, buddy.
Dude, okay, look, Other M was good. All right,
I know, I do love it. I do like it. The story mode was stupid, but I always loved the gameplay. Fight me, fanboys.
I will.
Caleb's got my back.
I do.
My first Comic-Con was the year that was being shown, and I got to play it, and I was stupidly excited. It was so much fun.
I was like, this is the Samus that I know and love. This is what she would do. I know this is what she would do.
She's just not real smart on how she handles things.
At all.
All right. Next up is another remake, port / whatever that's coming to us. The World Ends With You, Final Remix, coming October 12th. This is originally a DS game that has become a mobile game that is now being ported to the Switch with extra content, including a new story mode called A New Day with scrambled maps and new enemies. And this is Joy-Cons only. Well, the maps are changed around with locations, items, places like that, and they have new enemy types with it. And then the Joy-Cons only, this is originally a game that required touch. It had touch on the phone, on the DS, and now you can use the Wii remotes like pointers. So you can sit there and kind of move stuff around. Sorry for the yawning. I don't know. I want to play it. I'm curious to see how the controls work, and everything I've seen for preview seems to.
Yeah, I've been watching gameplay, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, it looks cool, but I still don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still looking pretty good, so we shall see. All right, so next up was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country, which is out now. This is a DLC prequel for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch, which I still haven't finished yet because I started to play it, got confused, was going to restart it to play it, and then my son took it, and I've never seen it again.
Oh, wow.
Jeremy still
I got
has
about, I think I'm at least the halfway point. I want to say. I don't know because it's a Xenoblade game, and you could never see the halfway point within 100 hours if you played it that long. So
it took like 100 hours to get the mech in Xenoblade Chronicles X.
No, it's 30.
30. It's still 30 hours to get the mech.
It's 30 till you get the mech, and then I think about a little more than that, and then you can actually fly. So I can't remember exactly. No, I remember on the Nerd Edification Hour podcast or something like that. I talked about it exclusively, and I still haven't finished that one.
Is that still alive, or is that show gone? Is that show still alive at all, or is that?
Oh, heck no.
We'll bring it back here. All right. I missed that show. It was fun.
Yeah, no, Tom still talks about it all the time. He's like, that was some of the most entertaining piece of just of anything I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Now we just do it from our own homes.
It's true.
We don't need your college. I kind of did. I got my degree. Anyways, I kind of need it for my job. So, would you want to see Xenoblade Chronicles X ported to the Switch? I mean, you'd have to start over again, but to have it on the go.
I don't want to start over.
That's the wrong answer. Yes, emphatically yes.
Sure, port everything, but I'm not buying it again.
Everything.
Port everything. I'm not buying it again, though. I'm not starting over. I still have my Wii U. I'm still going to play it on the Wii U eventually.
I still have my Wii U as well, but I mean, I wouldn't mind playing it on there because we'd get, enhanced graphics, probably a better frame rate.
Don't tell me such things. It makes me want it on this.
Can you imagine playing it in 1080? Full 1080. All right. So after that they had kind of a quick succession of games. So they talked about Warframe coming to the Switch on November 20th. Just Dance 2019. Yeah, Warframe's it's a free to play game, kind of like a Fortnite mold where you get the game for free and then you buy expansions or updates to play and add on. I've got some people that really enjoy it. I never really got into it, so we'll have to see. We've got Just Dance 2019 coming out October 23rd. It's Just Dance. You're going to dance and just move your controller. Team Sonic Racing coming this winter. New racing game from Sonic, which could be interesting. I really liked Transformed. I kind of wish that one would come back.
This isn't anything like that. This is more of the
original
like Sonic Adventure 2, whatever that was. But there was original Sonic Racing, but this isn't Transformed, or this doesn't have Sega characters, just Sonic. Just the Sonic characters.
I don't know. It could be fun, but they got to compete against some pretty good races that are already on there. Specifically Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. All right, NBA 2K19, which is already out. That's basketball. I'm pretty sure you guys know what basketball is. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. This is also basketball. Comes out this fall, but it's got a more cartoonish look to it. Which, if it's anything like NBA Jam or NBA Street, I'm in. We'll see. Lego DC Supervillains coming October 16th. It's a Lego game with villains.
With the villains. I don't know. That last Lego game I played was the Jurassic Park one.
That one was really funny. But I think the last
fun. But then I was kind of like, it's all the same Lego stuff. Like, I think Lego Star Wars, and then I played Lego Star Wars and then something else.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that one.
The last one I played was Lego Worlds. The last one I played and enjoyed was Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Lego Worlds was not good. Just no, so bad.
Oh yeah, I played Lego Marvel Superheroes, the first one. Never got around to 2.
That one was fantastic. 2 has been pretty good. I've enjoyed it. It's got Spider-Man 2099, so that's already a bonus. Because you're traveling through time and it's messing with stuff.
It's just like 2099 group A+, 9 out of 10.
Look, I'm the guy that just went out yesterday and spent money buying a Spider-Ham figure. Which, this is a whole side tangent, but Marvel Legends figures, they have the Build-A-Figure sets. Where you've got like 5 characters you buy that each come with a part to build a much larger character. Well, this one has a Super Venom, as they call it, where it's a bigger version of Venom. But yeah. Spider-Ham, he has his chest is what he comes with. His massive chest that's in 2 parts you put together with the arms and legs and everything. But Spider-Ham also has an alternate head, which is a Spider-Ham Venom. So you could build this whole figure, but make it a giant Spider-Ham Venom, where, you know, Venom's got all those teeth. Well, because this guy's a pig, he's got the teeth and 2 big tusks. Like a boar.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Interesting.
Caleb's confused. Oh, you're looking at it online?
Yeah.
I think I've got it. Yep, right back there. I'm going to show people because this is just stupid. You have to see this. Excuse me. I haven't opened them yet. That's a plan for later when I can put the shelves up. I've returned. So we have Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
The spectacular Peter Porker. And there's the alternate Venom head.
It's so weird.
Because there's the chest and back for the Super Venom, but imagine it with that head. It's supposed to look like that. A little blurry. Very blurry. Holy crap. So, good job, Marvel. I'm going to have to go find the rest of the set now because I want to have this super mutated Venom with a pig's head.
So bizarre.
I can. Well, I've always had a thing for Spider-Ham. It was my first comic book as a kid. Like, my very first comic book was the Spider-Ham #1. So, I destroyed it, but I'll find it again eventually. All right, so that's been my random tangent for the day.
That's a very interesting place to start in any comic book. It's like the alternate universe of the...
It's basically like, look, here's what comic books are. They can be whatever they want to be. Here is a spider that was bitten by a radioactive pig grandmother that then became a pig man. That's how that story went. Aunt May was the radiated pig woman that bit the spider that then grew into become Spider-Ham. It's so weird. Look it up, kids. Comic books are fantastic.
It's too early for this. I can't process the information you've told me.
I read it in the mid-'80s and I still can't process all of it. All right, so Square Enix announced a few small things.
Only a few?
Only a few. Would you like
only
to start off this list?
Sink?
And 8.
That's what somebody on Twitter was so mad. It's like, wait, all the others are here. Right. I don't see 8.
All right, let's talk about the announcements here. So, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition coming out in 2019, which is online multiplayer mode and new dungeon areas. Which I used to love this game on the GameCube, playing it with the Game Boy Advances. Aha! All right. So we kind of knew about that one. It was leaked ahead of time. We're like, all right, that's cool. I like the game. It's nice that it's coming back to the Switch. Some people were very weird about it, but I think it could be fun multiplayer. Then came the other one we kind of knew was coming, which was Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD, which is out now. And from what my son said, disappointing.
Yeah, I can only imagine it's a port of a port of a port.
Graphically, I like it. I do like that art style, and I was like, you know what? If that's what it takes to run it on the Switch, that's fine. But it doesn't have direct control over the characters. It's not like you're running an open world, and it's segmented out like a mobile game. And I'm like, why? Next up on their cavalcade of announcements was World of Final Fantasy Maxima. Once again, weird art style, but apparently it has everything, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
And then some extras. And then here's a return that we haven't seen since, I think, the original DS. Chocobos Mystery Dungeon. Everybody. It's literally every and then B-U-D-D-Y, buddy.
Buddy.
Comes out this winter. Basically, you can befriend every single creature or everybody.
It's like World of Final Fantasy, except I think it's more of a
better
mystery dungeon style.
Like it is a mystery dungeon. It's literally called Chocobos Mystery Dungeon. It's from that same style of games.
Oh, well, there you go.
So if you like Showen's Mystery Dungeon, or like Caleb said, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Chocobos Mystery Dungeon will be right up your alley. Might be one you really like. It does support 2-player co-op. So now you can do that together with somebody, which is a nice update. And then the one that really blew me away was Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. Come out in 2019. They added a speed mode, so you can speed up your gameplay to get through areas, so it's not quite as slow as it sometimes was for people. But this is the full HD remake that came out prior on other consoles, and oh god, I can't wait to play this one. I love Final Fantasy XII, and I will take it with me portably without any problem. I just really hope there's a physical copy. I don't want it to be digital only, and I'm really worried almost all of these will end up being digital only. Because Square, why?
Because Square.
Then they just nonchalantly announced Final Fantasy 7, 9, and then the 10 and 10.2 HD remaster are all coming to the Switch next year. Just nonchalantly. Here they
are. You can have them. Just port everything to Switch, right? That's the meme. Here you go.
So basically, everyone can stop complaining. Well, Cloud's not on a Nintendo system. He is now.
Now he is.
He kind of showed up in something before, but he's on it now.
He's kind of showed up something before.
But it's cool though. I mean, it's I don't get why there's no Final Fantasy VIII. Like, what did that game do to you, Square? My only thought is like maybe there's a full remake of that one coming. You know, which maybe will come out before 7 starts. I don't know.
But before they we're never going to see a 7 remake. That's all.
Yeah, we will. We'll just see it ported to everything. That's our remakes. But I mean, that's
now if you combine all of the different ports together, you will finally have your Final Fantasy VII remake. Just put in like a square or like a circle or something like that.
They're going to release 5 physical copies with golden tickets in it. Go find them. When each one's found, a part of the chapter is made. They would turn that into a fetch quest. All right. Move on to the last bit of news. A nice little surprise. There is a Super Smash Brothers system bundle coming, which I've already pre-ordered and paid for.
Wow.
Yay. Yeah.
I think they said something about you can buy these separately, I think, if you wanted to. Really?
Yep.
Oh, never mind. I don't know.
As far as I know, the dock itself with the artwork of the original characters in black and white on it is only with this bundle. And then the controllers, when you put them together, the Joy-Cons on the controller looks like the Smash Brothers logo. So that's kind of cool. Comes with a digital copy of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, which we're still getting a physical copy for one of the kids, but I guess I'm just going to have digital for now on that one. But what ended up being kind of a surprise, which I thought she would be in the game, but I thought she'd be a straight Echo character. But it's Isabelle. Isabelle turns over a new leaf, as they put it. She was added as a fighter in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I think like her announcement was the most calm Smash Brothers announcement I have ever watched in my life.
It actually made me mad.
Why?
Because the whole time I was like, they're doing it again. They are completely teasing us for an Animal Crossing, and they're gonna trick. Yep, she's in Smash Brothers. There goes any chance of Animal. I was so mad. I was like, I'm glad she's there, but where's my Animal Crossing?
Well, then why don't you tell them what the next announcement was?
Thankfully, Nintendo knew we don't want to have a riot. So they then, after she is announced and everything happens, because they showed her announcement in this beautiful HD rendition of like her office.
Yeah, no, it looked good. I was like, wow.
Well, they had Tom Nook going like, well, if the mayor, the villager, and Isabel are going to be out, doing all this other stuff, kind of mentioning the games, I should have the town ready for when they get back. And it's like Animal Crossing coming 2019. I was like, yes.
And then the world erupted into screams of joy. Also, and one thing to go along with the weird Peach Bowser thing.
Oh no!
After Isabel was announced, my timeline was filled with nothing but Isabel on Twitter for the good past month now. And
some of those have been hilarious. Like the Isabel and Snake ones are great, where she's like crying and Snake's like, no, it's not a gun. It's a dart gun. I don't kill anybody, stuff like that.
Kyle, actually, he said Isabel's special ability is that you can't hit her. You're not allowed to hit her.
There's another one that was like Bowser trying to teach her to be evil and get vengeance. And she's like talking with Kirby, and Kirby has ice cream, and he's like, go and, take it from him. And,
oh, for like the SpongeBob, go be assertive. Take it from That's my ice cream.
Let's see if I can find it here.
You can have it.
It was just so funny.
I mean, I'm glad. It's really cool. And I think somebody said there's only a couple of slots left for Smash Brothers.
We have no idea. That's the thing. Like they rearrange the pictures, they make extensions, they change stuff.
Mm-hmm. I was like, so you have can't no tell idea. Me whoever drew that one picture is happy to draw it another 50 times every time you add a new character in there. I know I wouldn't be happy. I'd be like, bruh, this is the 50th time I've drawn this picture. What do you mean we have to add another character to it?
Well, I think all they're doing is just editing the layers.
I mean, probably. But look, I just want to pretend like there's still 2D drawings.
Who knows? All right. So lastly, well, actually, I think you had some other news as well, didn't you?
Oh. You're talking about the Devil May Cry stuff?
Devil May Cry, yep.
More like your wallet may cry. Jeremy made that joke before we went on. Devil May Cry 5 is probably going to have, more than likely, is going to have microtransactions.
Yep. They'll let you spend real money to upgrade your characters.
Oh boy. Isn't that the best to do in a single player game?
Yeah, that's not good. That's all I have to say. That's not good. Because they were having other news issues with Devil May Cry 5 about their music. There was an issue with one of the bands that made the music, so they had to remove it to change that, and people are getting kind of upset about it. And now it's just like, oh, here's microtransactions. Like, that's not how you distract people. That was not smart. Oh, this is terrible. Anyways, the other thing I want to talk about is the Nintendo Online service, which started this week. I think actually almost at a week of using it. You, Caleb, have not paid for it yet, if I understand correctly, right?
Nope.
I bought the family plan, so I have it. And I've been playing the NES games, which work remarkably well. Like, they start up instantly. There's a nice collection of them to start with. Multiplayer has been fun. Online multiplayer has been fun. They've also done a thing where if you have a Japanese account on your Switch, it doesn't have to be a paid one, just an account so you can access the eShop. When you pay for it in America, you automatically get all the Famicom games too. So you can go to the eShop in Japan and download all those. So I have all the eShop Japanese versions or disc drive versions. So Zelda's got enhanced music and stuff like that added to it. Mario 3, I think, is actually more difficult because they had different tweaks to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a nice extra bonus. When you pay for the online service, you also get the ability to back up your game saves, which I haven't had any issues with yet. I mean, it's worked fairly well, but I haven't gone in and really backed up all of them. I know some titles cannot be backed up unknowingly, like Splatoon 2, which seems like a game you really should be able to do that. Dark Souls will be another one that doesn't allow it. Because they're concerned that people will use it to save scum, basically, to go back and be like, oh, I traded this Pokemon to somebody, which Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu won't support it. Because you could trade a Pokemon to someone and then go back and reload your save and get that Pokemon back. And they're like, we can't allow that to happen. So instead of finding any other way to do it like the rest of the internet, Nintendo had to do the dumb thing about it. But even with that downside on there, the online itself has been working really well. The games have been a nice bonus, which you would have paid well over even just doing the $20 to get those games on the Switch if you bought them on like the virtual console. Because NES games used to be $5 a piece. So you've got 20 to start with. You know, you would have stopped at 4. So I don't know. Voice chat's still stuck to the app. It works well, but it's not the most convenient thing all the time. But at least it works in more games, and hopefully that becomes a more universal thing. I don't know. It's Nintendo finally starting a paid online service. Just like the first days of PlayStation were really bad or messed up and had to grow and change. Xbox did actually start pretty well, but that is Microsoft, so it's not fair. I don't know. We're going to have to give it time and see how it grows. I still think it's worth it. The gameplay works well. The only feature is used for a lot of games. Honestly, you're going to get it for Smash Brothers. Don't even lie to me. They do allow for digital sharing of games in your family plan if you have that, which is kind of neat. So you can log yourself into other systems and play games, which some people have been doing that, and then they just turn the Wi-Fi off and their kid can play that game even while they're playing it, and they don't interrupt each other. So it's kind of like a take on the Steam stuff for that. Yeah, that's about it. I am very tired now. I'm going to eat lunch and maybe take a nap for today. It's my lazy day. My wife's out of town for the week.
It's always good to have a lazy day.
Yeah, kids are off with my mother-in-law, and I'm just by myself for the whole day.
Wow.
Amazing.
Get all that game playing time in there as much as you can.
I'll probably just go to Starbucks, get some coffee, come back and play Fortnite. Let's just be honest here. Yeah. Which Fortnite does not require Nintendo Online to play on the Switch.
Interesting.
I think Warframe
is it going to be like
way.
PlayStation? You just don't know what's going to require what unless you try to start it, or.
Well, if it's an online game, normally it's going to require it. If it's a free-to-play game, it probably won't. Like Fortnite or something because you're paying for other stuff. Or if they do an MMO, that probably won't either because you're paying a fee. But I love the fact people are arguing they're upset. Like the demo for Dark Souls is available right now to play this weekend. And it's the online network test. And people are online complaining like, why do I have to have online for this, Nintendo? You're being stupid. I'm like, it's the online network test, you idiots. Of course you're going to need the online. That's exactly what happens with PlayStation Plus demos and betas and Xbox Live Gold, betas and demos. You have to have those paid services to use the online service you paid for. So, Caleb, where can we find you online?
You can find me on YouTube. Still haven't gotten my custom URL yet. I'm still about 11 subscribers away from getting that. But you can try to look for Strangely Entertaining or look up like MyFeist200. That was my old URL. That's still what YouTube recognizes me as, stupidly. Or you can just look up Nerd Edification Hour. That's like my first thing that pops up. That's my channel.
I might be on that.
And you can also find me Twitter at Nerd Edification. I also want to change that since there's no more Nerd Edification Hour.
I still think it's a good name. You should run with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep it that.
There you go. It is a good name. All right. You can find me at Zenspath on Twitter, Zenspath. I'm on there a lot. So if you message me, I'll actually respond back. You can also find me at twitch.tv/Zenspath, where I will go through, and we've got the new setup here. That's why the camera's a little bit closer. I didn't take into account how close this monitor was to the camera, to me. But we'll be playing more titles, streaming them online, probably doing some more Fortnite, playing some other classic games and systems and stuff. But yeah,
I was there when he won the first time.
yes, I have it recorded. It was hilarious, and I yelled very loud. Poor Caleb was probably deaf. What the crap?
I was just like, I'm so happy I'm here to witness you first.
That's great. I gotta go now.
All right, bye. Yeah, you won, and then you left. I was like, okay.
I was excited. All right, so this has been episode 14 of the Zenspath podcast, September 23rd, 2018. And we're out.
Bye.
Peace.